It's happening. I'm going to my first ever Comic Con convention, and I'm very nervous and very excited. Actually, I'm going to two Comic Cons this month. I said, let's try something new and make it double. Let's prep now for Comic Con Holland. Today is Monday, and Comic Con is the weekend of this week. So Saturday, Sunday, and setting up starts already on Friday. So I need to prep everything from Monday to Thursday, essentially. I think I still have some time a bit on Friday morning, but hopefully I want to be ready before that. I tried not to overthink it and not over prepare. I do have a lot of props and supplies already from previous markets that I've done. I've done a lot of markets in the past few years. I've just never done a Comic Con. I do think that's very different, and I will change up my setup a bit for that. So I will do some trials also at home to see how I want my setup to look and how I can use some things differently, or how I can make some new things. But I will not overthink it. I also want to just see how the first one goes, and then having that experience, I'll know what I need better for the second one and any future conventions I attend. Hopefully, if this turns out to be a good experience and worthwhile. Yeah, that's something I've learned from all the markets I've been to in the past. You learn more about what you need through doing it. I didn't want to spend too much money on new supplies and things and props and setups before knowing what I actually need and what I will actually find useful and fun. I'm excited for it, but I'm trying to not get my hopes up too much, just because I don't really have any experience from it and I don't know anyone personally that has been to this convention before, so I don't really have any realistic information to base my expectations on. I'm a bit nervous about how overwhelming it will be, because I know it's a massive event with a lot of visitors. It's going to be loud and overstimulating, so that can be a lot when you're there for like a whole weekend. But yeah, mostly I'm excited. I hope it's gonna be good and worthwhile. At the very least, I hope to make back just the cost of being there, and then at the end of the day, it's just gonna be a good experience. At least that's my mindset, that at least I know what it's like and if it's worth it. And I'm very curious. Yeah, I'm just very curious. I do also have a bunch of other tasks this week, so I will need to figure out how to combine everything, and I'll just be prepping for the Comic Con in between my other tasks. Is this on? Yeah. Okay. Nice. Let's start prepping. Okay, so for my first task, wait for me. So, first things first, I will put out some folding tables that I have for markets to measure and figure out how much space I will actually have at the event, and then I can plan my setup based on that. I hate measuring things. I'm like a figured out with eye measurements type of person, because I am very visual, but for this I definitely have to measure. Let's figure it out. I think it's gonna be much less than I hope. So I'm gonna have to be creative with making it fit as much as possible. miss you. Hello. So it's Saturday today. No, today. Okay, this is going green. So it's Saturday, 7:30 in the morning, and we're on our way to the first day of Comic Con. We set up yesterday, and that took definitely longer than we expected, but we're very happy with how it turned out. So far, I don't want to jinx it, but so far there is no traffic, whereas yesterday there was a lot of traffic, so that is already an improvement. Anything you want to say?
Good morning.
Nice, that was Levi. What else? Today is going to be a long day. We should arrive around 8:30, and then early bird access for the visitors starts at 9, and then Comic-Con lasts until 7, right? Until 7 today. So that is quite a long day, and then we have still about an hour and a half drive home, plus some time to clean up, tidy up, and close shop. So it's going to be a long day, but we have a lot of snacks, and we are curious and excited. Maybe I should say my goal for today is to make back the cost of participating. I don't know if that's ambitious or not, because what we heard yesterday was that last year did not have the most successful event. So I don't know if that's too ambitious, but I'm going in with low expectations, still hoping for the best, and of course meeting a lot of you guys, although I know there's only 10 of you watching, and I know you personally, so I know who I'm gonna see, but also hopefully some new people. So you're staying. Oh. Okay. That's great. Okay, so update. It is now almost 5, and I'm tired. If it wasn't clear, I'm tired. It's been a lot. It's been busy. There's been also some waves of not busyness at all, but for the most part, it's been busy, which is a great surprise. I think it's been going much better than we expected. I've met so many super nice people. It's also really, really cool to see everyone in cosplay. The main difference, obviously, with being at a market like this is that at the quiet times, it's definitely not boring because you get to see all the people in cool cosplay. So that's definitely very entertaining and it keeps the motivation going. But it is a long day. I cannot believe that this is until 7 today. This is also the first time I'm sitting since this morning. So we ended up getting an extra table because someone who had like 5 tables at the end of our line didn't show up. So then the rest of us could like spread out. So that was a fun surprise. The only thing that was not very fun was that we figured it out after the doors had already opened. So we had to be very fast because people were already coming in. But we made it. And to be fair, it took a while for people to start coming by and buying things because we are towards the end of the convention center, so they needed time to walk and get there anyway. So that definitely worked out fine. There was someone going around giving away little trinkets, and that was just the most wholesome surprise. So thank you. So that was very cute to receive that. Okay, I'm not using my microphone. Maybe that's a mistake. I'm too lazy to get it out of my bag. We're driving home after the first day. It's 8:30 now, so it's not too late. It was great. It was a very nice first day. It was very long, definitely. It was also very nice to get to talk to the other vendors a bit more and to meet a lot of new people. But overall, great first impression from the first day. Quite happy with the sales I had. And yeah, overall, just everyone was so sweet and nice. Now I'm very excited to be home and sit down. I do need to prepare a couple of things to bring with me tomorrow that were either sold out or that we just need extras of. Also some of the like packaging stuff we need extras from. And yeah, I think that's it. Hello, good morning. I think last time I filmed was 8:30 last night, right? I think so, yes. And now it's 8:30 in the morning, the next morning, and we're on our way to Den Bosch. We're only a few minutes away, so we're almost there. But I wanted to take a second to film because I wanted to say normally when I pick up the camera to film is when I have energy, but to be fair and accurate for how this weekend has been, I've also been very tired for the most part, especially last night. So I wanted to take a second to acknowledge that I definitely don't have a lot of energy the whole weekend or all day. It is a lot and it is tiring, but the exciting things and the fun things do give you energy. So there's moments where I feel like I just need to sit down and not talk to anyone and hide myself under a blanket. Both physically and mentally, I feel that need. But then there's other moments where you're like at the top of the world having the most fun and you have all the energy as well and you're so excited to be there. So for me, it goes from one to the other within seconds throughout the day. And then once I'm in one stage, I forget about the other stage. So that's a very interesting part of this experience. Yeah. Let's see how today goes. back in the studio. It's been 2 days. It's Tuesday now, so a couple of days after the convention, I thought I would do a little debrief. I'm home and I have slept and rested a bit. So this was my first convention experience, and it was a very welcoming and positive experience, I have to say. Definitely very hectic, very busy, tiring, but also exciting and fun and wholesome. Of course, the first impression was setting up and meeting the other vendors there and my neighboring vendors, and everyone was super nice and helpful. It was definitely helpful that I already did some trials at home, since it was like a new setup for me, but still, it always happens. Once you're actually there, you still need to make adjustments to the plan. The Saturday was definitely a very long day, and it was also a very, very busy day with visitors. It felt like maybe even double than the amount of visitors from the Sunday. So that was exhausting for sure. It was also, yeah, very nice though. Super nice people. Also some really good hours with sales. It was very interesting for me to see some items selling more than in other markets I do. For example, in the first couple of hours, I sold more tote bags and mystery packs and coloring books than stickers, whereas normally stickers are my biggest bestseller. So that was very interesting. For the rest of the convention, of course, the stickers eventually became the bestseller again, which is pretty typical for me. But it was interesting to see some different tendencies for like the shoppers compared to other markets. It was really cool to see like the visitors really had an appreciation for the artist alley. They were very eager to interact more and ask questions. They were very vocal with compliments. That was so motivating and uplifting, especially on these days when you're like physically tired and mentally a bit, exhausted. I had really some super nice interactions and I met really cool people. It was very inspiring not only to meet so many new artists and creators that I haven't before, since this is definitely a new scene for me. That was really, really cool. But it was also very inspiring to see all the visitors in their cosplay and how creative everyone was with their outfits and their makeup. It was such an inspiring environment. The other sellers were very eager to share information about different events and about their experiences and tips. It was really such an open, welcoming space, and I really appreciate that. And it made me want to try more conventions. Yeah. In terms of sales, it was successful, not the most successful, but still successful. The Saturday was much better than the Sunday. That is definitely reasonable considering that the Sunday was 2 hours less in duration, and also there were definitely far less visitors on that day. I would place it somewhere in like the not my best market, but above average, I would say. So that's definitely good and worth more tries. It is very interesting to, like, when you're at a market, especially such a big event that's like lasts multiple days, at least for me, there's really such highs and lows that entertains. There's moments of so much excitement and adrenaline, and you're having so much fun. Your cheeks are hurting from smiling so much. You're having the time of your life. You're making so many sales, and it's like incredible. And then there's the quiet moments when they feel like last hours. It could be just 5 or 10 minutes, but it feels like hours. It feels endless, and you're so exhausted. You can feel every part of your body being tired. You just want to go home. You think you're not gonna make any sales, and you're considering if this was a waste of money and effort and energy, and if your art is even interesting to anyone, and why are you even doing this? And then 2 seconds later, a nice customer comes by and you have a lovely interaction, and suddenly it's like, yeah, this is what I'm meant to be doing. This is incredible. So it really goes up and down a lot, at least for me. So it's interesting because once you're in one side of the wave, you cannot even fathom the other side of the wave. Like when you're having a great time, there's no doubt about it. This is incredible and the best decision of your life. When you're in a low moment during the day, you're thinking like, why did I ever consider doing this? I should never do this again ever. I should just give up and go home and hide in bed. So it's, extremes, they happen. It's a thing. It's an experience. That was the summary and debrief of my Comic Con Holland convention experience. Of course, you're not going to an artist alley or an art market or any market type of event as a vendor and not shop. It's impossible to be around so many cool new artists and not shop. So I did. Few of the things I bought are gifts, so I cannot actually show them because most of my viewers are my friends. So I have this handmade clay pin. How adorable is this? Instead of saying the names of all the artists and shops, I will write them on the screen because I'm afraid that I will mispronounce every single one of them. Isn't this just adorable? The artist also gave me a little free bookmark that is adorable. And I got this gorgeous Riso print. So incredible. I loved all the prints this artist had, but I had to choose one. So I went for this one. I also had a little artist exchange with this art collective. They're so cool. I think it's 5 artists. Yeah, 5 artists that shared a booth, and they also share a website. Because I have the booby washi tape, we did an artist exchange for their butt tape. Which is the coolest thing. I haven't opened it yet, so I cannot show you like all the butts, but you get an impression. It's just, I mean, it doesn't get cooler than that. I also did an exchange, an art trade with my neighbor who had the cutest things. She also had this machine where you would like turn a thing around and then a compliment card would come out. So this is the one I got, which is really cute. Also from that art trade, I got this little zine that I'm very excited to open and read. And I really did have the coolest neighbors. From my other neighbor, I got this zine that goes into all the characters of the universe that they've created in their comic books, and it includes like descriptions of each character, and it's so original, it's so funny. I love all the illustrations and how much personality each character has. I'm so thrilled to go through this. Then from another one of my neighbors, this was like my neighbor across from me, 2 cards that are just so precious. Oh, and they gave me a little freebie. How cute! This artist is someone I've met at a previous art market in Eindhoven, so I already knew. I was very excited to find them there. This is also a gift, but because it's a mystery pack, it doesn't give away what it is, so I can show that. Look how adorable the packaging is. I'm so excited. It's really hard not to keep the gifts to myself, but I'm very excited to give them because I know my friends will love these. So this was my haul and Comic Con Holland's vlog. I want to extend a huge thank you to all the other vendors there who were so welcoming to me and who made this first experience at a convention such a positive one for me. And of course, I want to thank all the people who visited my booth, who bought something from me, or who complimented my booth at the convention, whether that was online or in person. I really appreciate it. Definitely makes me excited to try more conventions. So if you have any suggestions, please comment them below. I'm looking into which ones to apply to next. So any tips are appreciated. And finally, of course, the biggest thank you goes to my partner for being not only my driver and my super handy assistant with setting up, and also like being at the booth all day for the whole weekend. It kept my spirits up when I was feeling really tired or low and disappointed. Thank you for joining me for this experience and for watching my video. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe and like this one, if you did like it. Also follow me on social media, on Instagram, TikTok, and on my website to stay up to date with more of what I create. Thank you for being here. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye!